Hi, my name is Daniel, and I'm in the geology class, section one. Today, I'm going to be talking about engineering technologies that have been used to reduce the damage that can be caused by earthquakes. Earthquakes can be a pretty devastating event, causing violent shaking, and foundations, usually because they're inflexible, joints and buildings are usually inflexible and they're not meant to be shaken around, suffer collapse, which can lead to the deaths of the residents inside, alongside neighboring destruction and destruction of infrastructure that can be critical to the continued operation of society and critical functions like health, for example, a hospital. There have been attempts throughout history to mitigate this. For example, one of the most famous ones is Tom in Iran, who is placed in the Azerbaijan because of its location as an Azerbaijan region, which has a lot of seismic activity. There was a tomb of a king, that was essentially placed on one foundation, and then the second foundation was not attached to it directly. So these two foundations or whatever served as essentially whenever an earthquake would happen, it would allow the second foundation to shake without actually being attached to something, and therefore the building not suffering as much shear stress or damage. There's been more modern steps, of course. For example, the technology, like some notable examples have been in California, where there's been buildings like San Francisco Hall, or hospitals, or even in Tokyo, Japan. A lot of the research whatnot was first began by the Network for Earthquake Engineering Simulations, NAS, in a collaboration of United States universities, Berkeley in the West region. And following that, they made a lot of discoveries, which some was then commercialized by they had some patents or whatnot commercialized, but then eventually the technology was later then released to the public, which allowed the technology to be more expensive. There are some cons and benefits to this technology. For example, it can be a lot more expensive to build it, and it can make a lot infeasible, but there's also benefit that if it is a critical building to the society functioning, like a healthcare center, especially in an event like an earthquake, it can reduce costs over time. Some of the actual things that go into this will be decoupling the superstructure from its substructure. So you can be used this through technologies like magnetoferrofluid dampeners, which are essentially they have a ferrofluid, and the fluid will run through a current and turn it into from essentially liquid to semi-solid. Also, there's isolators that magnetorological estimator, which are adaptive-based isolators. There's a variety of different techniques in this, but the general purpose is to prevent a building from incurring damage. Granted, these aren't going to fully prevent a building from being damaged by earthquakes. Like, there's an earthquake proof, and there can be problems regardless of however you build it, but they can help increase resiliency.